Hey, so this is the Sennheiser Mke Omni Essential mic, and it's not being processed at all right now. So this is just the sound going straight into my Sony A7 III, and then from there over HDMI right into my Blackmagic A10 Mini broadcast deck. But it should be similar regardless of what kind of interface you're using to get that 3.5 millimeter source from this mic, my lav mic here. That's the Sennheiser into the computer. So this is an example of what that sounds like untouched. And then I'll play another one underneath this where you can see what it looks like once I've actually gone in and tweaked some of those audio settings to hopefully improve it. Hey, so this is the Sennheiser Mke Omni Essential again. And this time I'm still running the audio through my Sony A7 III into the Blackmagic A10 Mini broadcast switcher. So what I've done now though is I've adjusted some of the audio settings in Blackmagic software, just tweaked the equalizer and some of the dynamic effects, and you can see you can clean up the audio quite a bit. And I'm not an expert, I'm not an audio editor or a professional audio engineer, so I'm sure one of those pros could get a lot better results, but even from home doing it yourself, this is the kind of quality that you can achieve. Hey, so this is the Rode NTG3. That's a boom mic. It's a tubular mic that basically has a super cardioid pattern, so that means it focuses directly on what's right in front of it, and it has a long range because it's a long tube design. And this is something that you would see most often used in kind of like film or TV Hollywood productions. I'm using it right now. This is plugged in through a preamp that translates the signal to a 3.5 millimeter. It requires phantom power. It doesn't have its own power source, but that's perfect for kind of a home desk installation. And it's going then into my Blackmagic, so the video is synced to my Blackmagic A10 Mini. And so this is an example of what the sound is like right out of the mic, no processing, nothing touched. And then again, I'll show you kind of a second example of what it looks like once I've applied some audio settings. Hey, so here is that Rode NTG3 again. That's that shotgun mic. It's a boom mic that is often used in Hollywood productions. And what you hear now is it with some slight effects applied just to try to make it sound a bit more present, a bit less echoey, and to dial back any possible background noise that might be there. So again, this is me just playing around with the Blackmagic A10 Mini software settings, and the mic is going via line in directly into that deck, and the effects are being applied kind of real time. So you can see even with some minor adjustments, which again, I'm not a professional, I just kind of picked up. You can get some really great sound out of this mic, and you would expect because it is a very expensive mic and a mic that is used by professionals. But this is just an example of what you can do. Some of the downsides, though, again, of using a shotgun mic are if you move out of the field of the ideal field, you're going to hear some differences in the sound. Again, you want it to be as close as possible. It's like right just out of frame, like you can't see it, which is by design, but it's barely out of frame. And as close as I can possibly get to my mouth and pointed directly kind of like at where the sound is coming out of my mouth. So that's what you want to do to optimize this kind of mic. Okay, so this time I'm using the Sennheiser Mke 600, so that's another shotgun mic, another one that you would find being used as a boom mic and broadcast. And it is similarly plugged into my Blackmagic Mini via an iRig Pre audio interface. And this is the unprocessed sound coming right out of the camera into the deck. So you can hear how it differs a bit from the Rode, a bit more background noise out of the box, but it's a much less expensive microphone. It's about half the price. And it also has an option for battery power if you wanted to use it on the go. This is a popular one for people to use feeding directly into their cameras when they don't need their own or don't have their own constant power supply. And they would use it with an adapter to feed into the 3.5 millimeter, much like I've done here. But yeah, it's a great mic. And again, another example of what you can do with a kind of fixed position when you angle it down and just off camera. I'm going to move out again. You can see it's going to change the sound profile, but I'll also give you a sample with some adjustments. Okay, so here we have the Sennheiser Mke 600 again, And just like I did with the Rode, I've gone ahead and added some audio effects using Blackmagic's own built-in tools. So I've just adjusted the equalizer and used some of their dynamic audio effects to try to improve that sound a little bit and just tweak it. And again, I'm not an expert, so take that what it's worth, but like you can get quite a bit of sound improvement out of it just by messing around a bit and just let your ears guide you, I guess, and see if that works. But these mics, you know, even unadjusted, work really, really well and are big improvements over what you're going to get out of your built-in mics for your computers or other cheap kind of like USB mics or that kind of thing. And so, yeah, this is just another option, again, about around half the price of the Rode, but another really high quality mic.